Welcome back for more Elden Ring, ladies and gents. Hope you're doing well. My name is Lewis, aka Manyouaman here. So today in this episode, instead of going to the Deep Root Death that I mentioned in the last episode, we are going back to Leyndell, to capital, in search of this said sewage place, you know, because there is a sewage that we need to go through according to the dung eater in the round table. So this is what we are going to search for today in this episode. So you can see at the start here, I am back in Leyndell and I am going up to the stairs back to the fortified manor, because I thought it was around there somewhere, but to be honest it was just more or less I had a little bit of I think it was about a week of not playing the game, and I just wanted to jump back in and kind of go against all these Leyndell soldiers to get my groove back into it, you know what I mean? So all of that good stuff being said, I'm not playing the game because I haven't got the controller on my hand. So in the next few episodes, just going to be me doing post commentary while exploring Leyndell. But there is a little bit of a live commentary towards the end of this episode. The reason why, well, you'll get to see at the end of the episode. So with that being said, let's enjoy this one. Let's try to beat this Leyndell knight with the bloody spear and shield and a lightning spear infusion. So these guys are not that difficult to beat. You can see that I was being very systematic in what I do, you know, going around him, spinning around him, one hit, spinning around him, one hit. I did try to get that backstab off a lot earlier, but it never came to fruition. So backstabbing all these knights are definitely the best thing to do. So whether or not they are the Leyndell Knight or the Lernia Carian Knight or the Riot Academy Knight, doesn't matter. Limgrave Knight, the Stormfield Knight, doesn't matter. Spin around them and then get the back is your best bet. Similar to these arrow guys, they're the easiest, to be honest, because before they get their sword and shield out, you can really hamper them and hopefully kill them. But they do have that the force incantation, which will bash you back, which is pretty good actually. I haven't really used a lot of these holy incantation. I started using a little bit more in terms of the buff, but not the attack and stuff like that they do. So yeah, so after roughly about a week of not playing the game, came back into the game and just started looking for fights to get me back into the groove of Elden Ring's speed and mojo, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's all good. You know, I'm wearing the Carian Knight armor, invading the world of Leyndell, and this is how you get to the sewage. Basically, you climb down this ladder and you're in the sewage, obviously, because it's very smelly looking. In the Leyndell sewage is tough. They have all these enemy called the Omen. So they were born with horns, and a lot of people think that is cursed, and then they got banished to the sewage. So if you're a royalty, then you get banished into the sewage as a mean of good faith. But if you're a peasant Omen, then you will most likely die during childbirth, because at childbirth you'll be born with all these horns in your body, not just one horn but horns, and a lot of people want to cleanse this madness of horns and stuff like that. They will do all sorts of surgery on you to try to cut off the horn. Royalty do not have to do that, but peasant or sometimes people who want to get rid of their horns because they think is a is a curse thing, will try to do all sorts of things to their horns, and that's why some of the Omen's enemy will have cut horns all over their bodies in Limgrave, in the lands between, not Limgrave, not just Limgrave, but majority of the horns you see in these area is mostly intact because they're like royalty, and they didn't get shunned for having horn too much, so they still got shunned by being banished by into the sewage. So these are the Omen enemies. They are difficult. They have really high health, they do a lot of damage, and you just saw that they do a breathing attack that is incredible. All their attack, they're fast as well, they're very fast. You can backstab them, and you just saw you can bleed them as well. And yeah, so you can see all those horns attached to their body. They're not cut, but there are some Omen's enemy that you found in above ground, not in the sewage, but scattered around the lands between. A lot of them, their horns would have been cut off, and I did not know this before. I did not know this little detail. I did not know about this lore about this enemy before until I started watching some of the videos on YouTube. And after that, I was just like, wow. I was so amazed with that level of detail, the lore, the story behind the enemy. That the common enemy that you've been fighting is like, damn. So Margit got some horns. That's why but because he didn't get banished to the underground, because he's like obviously extra royalty, and Morg, which is the Lord of Blood, also have a Omen, and he is also not kind of banished into the underground. So those are the only two that's like lordship level that are not banished. But all of these, maybe they were born as some sort of a royalty family, and they have horns. Then I'm sorry, you're gone. Yeah, these guys move fast. Their attack is tenacious. They attack hard. They are a really good enemy to fight, I guess. Really fun enemy to fight. Annoying if you're trying to progress, because they can be quite tough, and you definitely don't want to fight them in gangs as well. Trusty shield. Oof. The combo as well is pretty damn good. You just saw that the slice of a axe broke my guard, and yeah, that was that. So the Godslayer Greatsword from the last episode is back, because I want to see how much of the Colossal Sword will stagger them. And basically every slash attack that I'm doing, I'm not even doing a heavy attack, I'm just doing the slash attack, can stagger them. Because I was debating, okay, my katana is definitely not staggering them, so how can I... the bleed effect is really good, but if they're attacking me and I'm attacking them, and I'm not dodging well enough, and I'm rushing a bit, what can I do? So the best thing is use a weapon that can stagger them. So you hit them and they'll get staggered, they will not hit you. And it was proven to be a fairly good strategy. On the first one I was just like testing it out, and it worked fairly well, so then I decided to test out on a couple more. But I want to draw one of them, I don't want to fight in gangs. The black bow definitely coming into his own. Really like the black bow, really like the bow. It's just a very versatile weapon that do decent damage, and definitely can provide that projectile attack, provide me with that that range attack that I really desperately needed. Because apart from that bow range attack, I got the flame slaying, but that doesn't really throw that far. Doesn't really have that far distance effectiveness. There you go. Almost died there because I tried to rush, but I felt at this point okay, the God Slayer Greatsword is feasible. It's viable against these Omen. So yeah, pretty heavy lore to start. You know, about these Omen enemy. It's cool though. It's really good because you kind of like, because they are a fairly new enemy. I'm pretty sure I met them and fight them before this episode, but it is a stock enemy in this Sewage, and you often think, what are the lore behind it? What are the implications behind it, right? And there it is. It's because they were just banished here, but that means they didn't need to suffer through their horrible surgery of trying to cut out their horns and stuff like that. You know, the horn is part of the body, so it literally just pain going through. Unbelievable pains. Blood-soaked machine, blood-soaked mask. So yeah, by reading all of the items that you get, doesn't matter if it's talisman, weapon, clothes, consumables, key items, whatever it is, it gives you all these different lore that you can really get to know more about the enemy, more about the area. So there's a lot of notes saying, hey, use range attack, use ranged attack. So that's why I started using ranged attack. And then I started to try, okay, what happens if I use my attack? It does flow through, funnily enough, but not always. Sometimes you will hit the wall. I'm just like, okay, that's inconsistent, so let me go back to bow and arrow. And after about I would say 4 or 5 minutes or so, I managed to kill them. The blood arrow really works, and I started using poison. The poison it ticks away so slow, so it's not great. I love the poison arrow in Dark Souls 2. I mentioned this before. Fantastic little thing. Love the poison arrows, but in this one, everything blood, mate. Everything blood is amazing. So the blood arrow in this one is really good, and you'll see me using blood arrow a lot in this episode against those Omen, because they have shitloads of health. The greatsword aren't exactly great. Against these rats, because the swing can sometimes be over the head, swung over the head, so you don't want that. So that's why I changed back to the katana against these smaller enemy. I don't know what lies ahead, so it's better to kill all these rats rather than run away from them, because the rats they're actually fairly fast. They're fairly fast, and they can definitely stun lock you with their little headbutt attack. All these flowers, they're annoying. They are not worth killing at all. Whenever you see them, just run away, unless you wanted the poison. You wanted more poison material to craft. Otherwise, they are not worth it. They don't bleed at all as well. I don't think they bleed easy. I think maybe they will bleed, but not very easy at all. And the fun factor is that if you use a weapon that is infused with fire, you can see that after a few, I just gave up. I'm running out of crimson tears, so I'm just like, you know what, see you later. So the fun fact is that if you use fire weapon or fire arrow, if you inflict fire damage against these guys, then they will get rid of their poison smoke. I did not expect that to happen. I didn't read the notes, trying to go through them, but the little hands just ganged up on me, and I couldn't get a clear one-on-one fight against this hand. So 34,000 souls. So this is what I mean about me being managed to not having to farm ruins too much during my first playthrough. Or at the beginning I did a little bit in Khalid, but later on I did not have to at all. It's because every time I die, I make sure that I collect my runes back, and I'm wiser. I'm taking a different strategy. You can see that. Okay, I see the hands. I'm going to take a different strategy. So that's the Dunk Eater. So I saw the hands movement, so I'm just like, okay, I need to deal with this, and I know I can beat it. But I just need patience. There's a lot of opening on these in this hands attack, and 2 overhead attack, 1,200 damage instead of the 200-ish that I was doing. Just a simple slice. So the Dung Eater. So this is the Dung Eater physical form.
I've been here long enough. I will kill again and defile each.
I haven't exactly done his quest line properly, I don't think.
That when they're reborn,
I don't know. I don't feel like I finished like one of the section of his storyline, but I think there's more to it. But I think it's a little bit too late now for my character. So currently my character is obviously to finish the game. As I mentioned in the last episode, this is me talking to you guys now, who finished the game and started a second playthrough with another character. I haven't started New Game Plus because I don't know what other secret that I would like to keep. So I don't know when I'm going to start the New Game Plus. I probably won't ever start New Game Plus because I don't see the point of starting New Game Plus with no extra motivation for me to do so. Apart from obviously respawning all the boss and you go through the game again. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will go through the game again eventually, but right now I'm happy playing new characters. So going through the tunnel, some slime just busted out. They are really not that difficult to beat. I don't even know what they do. I think they just spit some like acid or spit some stuff onto you, but they're not that difficult. Ambush ahead, another Omen. So this one, some of the ones are a lot more difficult. They are a little bit more health. They do different kind of flame incantation kind of thing. So you can see the blood arrow is using. I'm using the blood arrow once again, and once I get that bleed build up, that's 1,100 damage. That's insane. So even though I'm drawing this out, because what I'm trying to do here is try to beat these guys without too much effort, because I don't want to use too much of my Crimson Tears. So you can see that I was using Barrage, but I was using Barrage without any focus points. So each of my arrows actually doing significantly less damage. So if you do that without any FP, then that will happen. It will still allow you to use your Ash of War. I don't know why they don't call it weapon art, because I think weapon is called armament now in this game. But basically, weapon art in Dark Souls 3 term, you can still use it, but it just significantly less effectiveness. So these are the two that I killed using arrows before, but because did I kill them? Yeah, I definitely killed them. Oh, because I died, didn't I? I died to the hand. I didn't repeat that whole cycle again. Whatever item they have, it wasn't very important. I did go back and grab it at the end, but just probably a cut content for me. So a series of stairs. This stairs reminds me of a location in Demon Souls, really. Try behind. So he's saying that okay, this is not the place, maybe potentially, and then I just decided to just walk around, seeing the messages and see okay, which bit is a good bit. So he says no, it's behind. So one behind me came back here, and it is a good spot to land. So another Sombring smithing stone. So all of these smithing stone, once again, all of these material upgrade material you get, it indicates to you how hard this area will be. Like what your character should be, right? Giving you Sombring 6, so your weapon should be roughly about +6, or with the normal weapon it should be +18. So we meet these guys before near the poison castle. I can't remember what castle it's called, but 430 runes, not bad. If you manage to find a group of them, again, use some kind of AoE attack to kill them quickly, and you can farm some runes. But I never have any problem using my tactics of just being careful and grabbing my runes, never let it go away completely, never lose the runes that you lost completely. I managed to not runes farm, which is good, because the map is so big, meaning that you don't really need to do that anyway. If you struggle, you just go to other places and you beat the boss there, or you complete the other area, you come back, you will be stronger. Unless you go into a place with no enemy, but I mean, this is Elden Ring we're talking about. Everywhere you go there's enemy, so all this Basilisk is actually pretty good in terms of runes. You can tell that you're starting to get into a better area now, because even lesser enemy like that give you 482 runes, which is really good. Another Omen enemy. I'm trying to see if there's any like kind of hidden traps or anything like that. Didn't find any. So this is why you started to use the bow and arrow. There you go. But I was running out of bow and arrow though. I was running out of the blood arrow, which uses blood rose. Blood rose, and obviously the beast bone, smaller beast bone, and the falcon feathers. I like the item crafting, and I think it's really interesting mechanics that they added in, and I think it's 100% worth doing it. I know on my second playthrough or third playthrough or whatever, eventually I'll probably use it less and less and less. And a lot of people just legit do not use it. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of veteran guys just don't use it. They're not interested. They can play the game without this kind of item mechanic stuff. Because a lot of veteran Dark Souls, they will not care about buffing themselves up, because they seek the fairest way to kill a boss is not to buff, not to do this, not to do that. But yeah, but I mean, use all of it. Just use all of whatever you have. So Omen, the Beyond. So unfortunately, I didn't look at the description on the item. It will actually tell you a little bit about the omens and the horns, and it gives you a little bit of the lore. But unfortunately, I didn't bring that description up. So it's a very interesting game. You need to look at all the items to learn everything about the game. The first time when I played Sekiro, I was doing the same thing. But Sekiro is a little bit more straightforward in terms of the story. The lore, not too much. So this is where I open up the shortcut back to the first site of grace that I found. Well, first and only site of grace around this sewage. So in this site of grace it's very generous, even in areas like this. In dungeons, obviously, you know that dungeon only have one site of grace. So, but yeah, genuinely they are fairly generous, and I think since Dark Souls 3 they have been incredibly generous. Around boss battle, there's always, okay, if there's no gonna be site of grace, you know they will have, they just decked me there. Luckily I went back, I was carrying about 40,000 souls, and luckily I went back and used the soul. That's one thing that lead me to not rune farm as much, is because when I know I'm carrying a lot of runes, I go back and I use the runes. If I'm going into a new area that I don't know what the hell is going to happen, I'm going to make sure that I use those runes, level up whatever it is that I need to do, and then go explore the areas, because stuff like this can happen. You know, they can kill me instantly, and the next time when I'm trying to rush in and grab the runes, I might die because I'm rushing in to try to get all my runes. So I think the approach that I play this game has improved every single episode. The more I play, the more I'm being more cautious around my surroundings. I know what I'm capable of. I know what the enemy is capable of, because you start seeing repeatable common enemies and stuff like that. So you know how to deal with them. So pretty good. So yeah, so if you're in a lower level and coming into this sewage, just killing enemies in here will get you a fair amount. I'll say all these statue enemy, they're not difficult. They can hit hard. They're not very difficult though to kill. They will swing around and stuff like that, but as long as you kind of watch your attack and don't panic, don't try to rush, you can get a sweet 842 runes. So if you're lower level, this is good. Again, Smithing Stone 7 is asking you to, for God's sake, get your weapon to plus 21 in this area, or on your journey to 21, because you will need one Smithing Stone, and then you need no, you need 2 Smithing Stone to get to plus 1, and then 4 Smithing Stone to plus 2, and then 6 to plus 3 on each level of Smithing Stone. So we're into the pretty much the second part of this sewage. There's a lot of running around on tubes and all the other section that wasn't very interesting in the first part, so I cut that out. And definitely against the Omen enemy at the start as well. Not at the start, but yeah, at the start of the sewage it can be difficult, but they give you a lot of runes. So even just clearing out all these statue fella, the stone statue, I got about 11k already, almost 11k. So this is you could go down to this area a lot sooner. So that ladder go back to the tunnel with the 3 omens at the start of the sewage and the site of Gray's room. So there's nothing there, not really. People have been jumping everywhere, but no, there's another place to drop down. I could have easily dropped down to that beam and then drop down for a little bit of a safekeeping, but I decided to go a different way and drop down where I will actually inflict damage for some reason, because I just realized that I can literally, doing the post commentary on this, I literally just realized that I could jump down a different point that I don't inflict the drop damage. But it doesn't matter though, doesn't matter too much. Another Omen enemy. This time I can finally bloody backstab him. One thing that they are pretty good with is, if you're comfortable with dodging every single attack, you could use 2 katana. So I'm starting to inflict backstab, which is really good. Backstab on the second one is about 500 odd, I don't know why, but final opening to drink. Grab the item that you're supposed to grab. The shadow bait. I think that is the it turn your weapon invisible, so it's more of a PvP thing. So then your opponent don't know what kind of weapon you're holding, roughly. They don't know if you're holding a rapier or a sword, that kind of thing, you know. So we open another shortcut through the tunnel at the start. So you can see that the first Omen that we faced, and we got down there. So this statue is part of a shortcut that we'll get to a little bit later. So yeah, there's plenty of shortcut in this sewage. But whether or not the shortcut is really that useful, not really. There are good shortcut, and there are, oh gosh, that's so good, shortcut. So coming down here, you see those what people call sniper lobster, and their projectiles attack is one of the bastard attack. But the Godslayer greatsword is definitely a very viable weapon against them, because it doesn't stagger them too much, but it definitely hit them hard, a lot harder than the katana could have done. And if you hit them hard enough, because it does a lot more stagger damage, it will stagger them, so then you can go for a critical attack, or you can just keep bashing them. When you in Elden Ring, a lot often that when you stagger them, you don't go for the critical attack, because the critical attack doesn't really do as much damage. Sometimes it would have been better if you just keep whacking him. There you go. There you go, 847. Pretty good damage. Not bad. So they give you this strip of white flesh, which you can item craft into a different sort of like immunity flesh strip of meat to improve all your immunity and defense and stuff like that. The Morgus Sacco. So Morg is the Lord of Light. The Lord of Light, the Lord of Blood, the Omen. This is one of the Shackle of Morg. Try learning out. Yeah, I was thinking about that lobster, and just like, okay, I did the first one pretty good. You know, some good items there, so I thought, okay, let's give it a challenge. There's a lot of glass shards. A glass shard doesn't actually do anything. It's worthless, basically. I don't think you can craft anything from it. It just, literally, the description said it's absolutely worthless. So I don't know why I started to attack there. I don't know, I just want to land an attack for some reason instead of drinking, so that's why I die to it. So second time coming down here, coming down at a different angle this time. I must say accidentally, because you can see that my health is half. So this time I'm just trying to get to that room there and got sniped by the bloody sniper lobster. Interestingly, their attack do hit each other. So, Site of Grace there. So this is the beginning of the underground tunnel for the sewage, Leyndell sewage. So using this lift, we'll go back to the shortcut that was the statue shortcut that I was mentioning earlier. Yeah, there's a few enemy here. Not really that interesting. A few enemies, a few fake war, a few items. From what I remember, it wasn't really that interesting. I think there might be like a. So all of these phantom soldier doesn't give me any souls. Then you know that okay, there's someone calling him. So the Helldrake Talisman +1. Again, not really that important. There is a lot of enemy that does holy damage, to be fair, but they're alright. They're alright. I can deal with the holy damage. So pulling the lever will move the statue back, and this is where I'll go back to the other shortcut with the gate. And at this point, I absolutely forgot that there's an Omen at the corner. I saw the blade at the corner of my eyes, that's why I rolled forward, but obviously he did a sweep attack to get me. So I tried to run back down, but it was just too late. But luckily my Site of Grace was nearby, so I went back and grabbed the Site of Grace and grabbed back my runes. And this time I just run forward instead, and I was just like, look, I can't be asked to defeat these Omen. The Ushitana is definitely not the best weapon for them. The dual Ushitana would be good, but like I said, I want to stagger them instead of just doing smaller katana damage. So this is where I go to the dungeon, the Sewage dungeon. I saw a message there, so I thought, oh, is there something here? No hidden path ahead, so nothing was there. So you just need to go to places, man. You need to go through all these places and see like what's going on. Went the wrong way. So yeah, the catacomb of the Leyndell sewage. Boss room right there, right in front of me straight away. Summon sign. So yeah, so this all of these catacomb, I kind of stopped showing a lot of them and just do kind of cuts in between, something interesting. And this is something interesting. When you go deeper into the catacomb of different region, it started to, or harder region, as you progress the game, it started to trick you. It started to have like mazes, like you have to jump around, jump down, jump underneath the lift, or you have to trigger some mechanics. You have to jump out a window. So there's like different layers or levels that you need to kind of go through in order to get the right the boss gate lever. So I can see all of these guys have fire, so they will just explode. So yeah, later bit of the catacomb is get interesting, because at the start when you're in Limgrave, the catacomb or the caves and all these dungeons are really basic, really basic. But it started to get interesting. But they definitely still reminds me of the Chalice dungeon in Bloodborne. Perhaps slightly... would I say it's a lesser version? No, I think it's not a lesser version per se, but it's definitely a... They try to make it interesting, but I feel like they not done the best job for it. So going up the lift, another Omen. Try luring it out. Blood Flame Blade. And then I thought, okay, let's just go in. Backstab the dude. But no, it's just one of those that you just trigger it. That is a lot of damage, that little burst attack. And you don't want to get grabbed by that. But yeah, bleed, that's what I was saying, like, if you have 2 katanas, that will probably be the best way to go full attack against them, because their attack is actually fairly easy to dodge. They do a combo, but the speed of it is not really that significant. So you could dodge all of his attack, and having 2 katana meaning you can inflict the bleed damage a lot quicker. It's a little chop 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 chop. Just chop them up. Crucible Scale Talisman reduces damage taken from critical hits. Useful for PvP. Not very useful against in PvE. Only a couple of enemies that actually do critical damage. I guess all the bosses with the grab attack, that's considered a critical damage, perhaps. So that might work. So yeah, I believe it's this catacomb that is like different layers. So then you need to go into different room, jump a different way in order to get to the level that you want to open up the gate room. But a lot of it, after this one, I kind of stopped showing a lot of the catacombs because they're just very similar taste, similar enemy, similar logic. Yeah, you see I did the backstab animation there, but he rolled back. I got the charge, the axe talisman, which improves my charge attack, so that's what I was trying to use. The charge attack a little bit more. Also, it will extend my range. The R2 attack on the katana is a full frost. So yeah, it's really good if I can get that off, but sometimes you just can't. So you're starting to get the growth wart item that is like +7, +8. So yeah. So you got I went all the way up the level, and I found this guy in a boss room. I started hearing things behind me, so that's why I'm just like look back. That's the beauty of wearing a headset, is headphones. You can hear where the enemy is coming from. So I sort of literally heard it on my right side. I'm just like, oh shit, someone's there. Of course, someone is there. Kill. Wow, using the door strategy once again. The door strategy always helps. It's a big cheese, but ayo, whatever, innit? I wonder if these guys get frostbitten quickly as well. But I think the bleed just do great amount of damage. They don't really have that high bleed resistance. So after getting the other guy stuck, I want to preserve my flask, so that's why I started just using my arrow and trying to bait him to the door. So this strategy is a cheese strategy, like I said, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm in the thick of the dungeon and I only got 2 flasks left, so that's why I'm just like, okay, let's just be careful now. Managed to stagger him and still do critical damage, which is really good. Hit the door that time. Missed that. Luckily didn't get any of my health. And just finish it with an arrow. Disrespectful arrow. So yeah, I ran out of my wondrous physic. I ran out of my my FP flask, my cerulean flask. That's why I'm just like, look, I just need to take things slowly because I haven't opened the bloody boss gate yet. So that means I can't die, and you know I'm starting to get more souls. Get more and more souls, so. And that's the boss gate. Somewhere every door is opened. I hate those prompts, man. They don't disappear. Because I was trying to like run away in here, but like if you try attack, you can't. Because there's a fucking prompt there. Which is really annoying. That prompt has done me a few times, to be fair. So going to face the boss, always need to respect the enemy, buff up as much as you can. To be honest, I haven't got that much buff, so who are we against? We are against the Priest of Blood. I saw the few dogs, so I was just like, oh hell no, I'm gonna bring Leyndell in. Luckily, I did manage to get the dogs very quickly, and Leyndell was getting majority of the damage from the priest. Esker. Got a cool hood though. So got all of these blood magic going on. One of the follower of the of Morg, the Lord of Blood, and you see the dagger that he's using. Very reminiscent of the weapon that that Morg is used, the Lord of Blood. So yeah, obviously he's not as good as my blood flame blade, and the blood infusion normally on the blade on the Uchitana. So raises attack power when blood loss occurs in the vicinity. So we got one very similar for poison, and then eventually I think we get one very similar to Scarlet Rot, I believe. The Root Risen is worth getting because they you can use it to craft more of those infusion stuff. I can't remember what they call the little block. I defile you next. Come see me by the lake. So this is what we got. We are going against the these little flying bugs is annoying. We're going against the Dung Eater. So you can see that I got invaded by the Dung Eater. He's mad. Not bad damage. He does fair amount of damage on me as well. But at the background you see there's something moving. And that ended up to be my nemesis, crabs. I have many nemesis. But yeah, the crab started hitting me. And I know the katana doesn't exactly do too much stagger damage on the crabs. So yeah, I basically got killed by got disturbed by the crabs and tried to roll out his mad attack and just died basically. I'm just like, damn you crabs. Oh god. Just because I ate you before. Mate, crabs are fantastic. Ooh. Bit of a delicacy, I guess. So this time before I start before I get invaded by the Dung Eater, I kill the crab first, and the bug's starting to have a fucking Mate, literally nature. The nature is on the Dunk Eaters' side for some reason. I couldn't get my Blood Flame Blade out. And it was an easy fight. Like, literally, it was just like 3 overhead attack and then he's dead. And that's... Mate, those bugs are so annoying. Try to kill them, but I could not land a hit. I just could not land a hit. It was the Sword of the Melos. So after that, go back to the round table, speak to him again. What I should have done is go back to the sewage and speak to the physical form of the Dung Eater to progress his story, but I never did that. I basically never did that. It very quickly bored me with the quest line, so that's why I didn't bother doing that anymore.
Tens of thousands more.
Who bears in the thousands more? They kill, they defile, and bless in my
stead. The rotten fools. My fate was the grandest.
Back to the Leyndell capital. Back to the Leyndell capital. There's another valiant gargoyles here. We in the last episode we beaten his brothers, the twin blade gargoyles and the great sword one, so we can best him, right? The first time when I tried to go against him, it didn't go well. I tried him a couple times, I would say. No, a few times, definitely a few times. And I don't know why, but I just didn't. After a few times, I didn't try again. I thought those times wasn't a good try. But regardless, I'm better now. I can do more damage. I've got a little bit longer health. I level up my characters a bit more. I'm using the great sword. Essentially what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to use the great sword and use the heavy attack to try and get him to stagger. But this gargoyle is fair enough to him, that he does move a lot. I wasn't able to land a lot of my attacks. So that's the little wind attack. Kind of bullshit because it does have a area of damage, an AoE attack. Like, it literally is crazy, man. Back to the sword. I think back to the sword is a lot easier for me. I decided to focus on killing those lesser enemies instead of focusing on the gargoyle for some reason. But yeah, using the Godslayer greatsword, just trying to use strength against them, trying to get them to stagger, but as you can see, they don't stagger easy at all. And this one is really aggressive, and there are not many places for me to run away. But there's definitely a lot of places for him to clip on things. And yeah, he's just constantly moving, and that's why it's really annoying. What I should have done is to use the katana, because I know the katana, especially the dual katana, will work really well against these guys. I used the katana before to get the gargoyle, so I don't know what made me think that the greatsword would be better. Yeah, still not getting too much damage on him. So I tried to do my charge attack. It's just not happening. But luckily, kind of using the stairs to cheese him to death, because all his attack is just going over my head. So got another gargoyle's weapon, which is pretty good. I never used it before. I never use it, but I'm sure they'll be alright. This is where I also kind of debated and kind of get lost of where to go next. It's definitely a next area onwards. And the beauty of the Elden Ring is that you can get on a dragon wings, you can get on these branches to progress your storyline. And this is where I use my rainbow stone to kind of see, okay, am I going to survive? I'm going to survive. You know, I'm fine. So the rainbow stone is definitely really good. Just look at the ledge, throw the stone, see if you survive. If he doesn't survive, then that means you can't jump down. That's a really good hint, because I learned this hint not very... well, I think I learned this tips a long time ago using the rainbow stone. But I never really used it in Dark Souls, any of the Dark Souls game or Bloodborne game, because there's not many area that you can drop down like that. The verticality is definitely less. It's still there, definitely still present in the Dark Souls game, the Bloodborne game, but it's definitely significantly less. In Sekiro, you can basically jump down and drop down to wherever you like, because you're a shinobi. Shinobi? Yeah, shinobi. Shinobi is the place. You don't want to go to Shinobi. Shinobi. It's a pretty cool concept though. I do like the way that From Software have changed the direction for Sekiro, and I know when the game when it first starts to, when it released, a lot of people kind of like, it's not the Dark Souls, it's not more Dark Souls, not more Bloodborne. The mechanics has changed significantly. You need to focus on parrying, you need to focus on this and that, not just spamming R1 and R2. It's definitely different, and a lot of people dislike it, a lot of people don't like it, but I think at the end, when people play the whole game, and when the people actually play the game fully and appreciate the greatness of Sekiro. I was one of those that kind of disliked the game for not being like Dark Souls, but like I said, once I did like the game, but I didn't love it. I didn't appreciate it until I gone back to it 2 years ago, and then that's where I started to love it. You know, I love it so much that I actually made a video on it, which is surprising. That's the first ever From Software game. I thought I would have done a Bloodborne or maybe a Dark Souls series, or maybe Elden Ring, because I knew I was gonna do an Elden Ring, but nope, it was actually Sekiro, because the boss fight in that game is just so fun. Boss fight in that game is so fun, and a lot of people is calling Miyazaki to do a sort of similar repeat boss fight mechanics for Elden Ring, and I think that would be really good. I think that would be really fun. So instead of going to New Game Plus and having to explore all of these places for these boss, you know, some of the older boss, not older boss, some of the later boss, you challenge, instead of going to New Game Plus and face them again, you can just do the whole repeat boss run thing. I think that would be really good, because all the bosses in Sekiro is very challenging. Even like the sub bosses as well, they're really good fun to do.
Master, whatever is the matter? Please, I implore you, continue.
So we found Cornet here.
I must be the one to record them. What matters this issue of Radagon, really? The Erd Tree, heart of the Golden Order, lies before our very eyes. Why must these qualms come to you now? We were on the very cusp.
So he's complaining about something.
Was that you? Sorry.
I never completed his side quest. Once again, it's one of those things that progress the game a little bit too much without knowing how to progress his side quests, because I wasn't using the wiki at all. I did use the wiki a little bit on some of the stuff, to like the Rani quest line, but I didn't know that her quest line ended up with a different ending. You'll get to see that in a few episodes time when I do Rani's quest line. So yeah, so there's a few characters things that I did search a wiki on, but I was using the wiki incredibly sparingly, just so that I can enjoy the game as it is the first time, because it's so easy to get to the trap of just looking up wiki on everything you want to do. It's like, oh, I'm stuck with this boss. I only had one try, but this boss is difficult. Let me have a look at a wiki. So there's a lot of ways to play this game, and like that's the whole point. That's the whole point of Elden Ring. The whole point of Dark Souls and all these From Software game is play the bloody game how you want to play it, right? If you want to use the most OP weapon, do it. If you want to use exploits so then you get under the map, do it. If you just want to challenge yourself and not call any spirit summons, spirit ashes summons, or PvP summons, or real player summons, or AI summons, whatever it is, if you don't want to summon and make the game harder for yourself, that's fine. Like, you never want to level up your weapon and play through the whole game like this. It's your choice. You know, there's so many ways. That's why like there's so many like speed runs. There's so many challenge that people do in these From Software games, because there's so many ways to play the game, and that's the beauty of it. Just using different weapon, leveling up different attribute will have significant difference in your experience of the game. Like this playthrough, I was playing you know, dexterity and faith, Uchitana, bow and arrow. My experience with my strength and magic build is already significant different. I'm just like, a lot of the enemy that I had problem with before, I'm just like, oh, I'm just powering him with my sorcery. But then a lot of bigger enemy with a lot of health bar, I'm like, oh shit, I need like, I'm not getting him as quick because I'm not inflicting the bleed damage. And yeah, so it's like, it's different. There's so much difference to the experience. Some of the bosses you face, you're like, well, for once I already have experience against them, but the second time is the fact that my build of the character is now different. So what is the optimum strategy? So yeah, it's different. It's just different experience already that I'm experiencing. Order ahead. So this is where I know this is a boss room. It looks like a boss room. So I went in here and I just said, look, strong foe ahead. I started to challenge this guy. I know this is a boss, and I'll fight this boss, Godfrey, the First Elden Lord. And I was like, oh shit, like this is the boss for Leyndell, the capital. So this is it for me. You will hear the live commentary Lewis later on. So peace out. Hello ladies and gents, welcome to the live commentary. Lewis playing the game. Got the controller on my hand. Actually have to focus to what's on the screen and not worrying about doing my post commentary and gibbering, babbering, dubbering about whatever going on in my head. So that being said, why am I doing a live commentary now? Because we just got into the boss fight in Leyndell. I don't think this is the special boss fight, but I just thought, hey, why not put on my camera, set up my green screen and record this fight, because he's the first Elden Lord. So Godfrey, not Godric, Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, and had a little goal. So it has been a couple of days since I faced him. So let's see. I didn't think it was difficult. I thought I did quite good damage as well. So I think majority of his attack I can actually avoid. Right, Godfrey. Where are you going? I didn't buff up. I just want to look at. Alright, I'm just. Oh, okay. His attack is very slow. This is the first phase. This is definitely the first phase of something. I'm just rushing through it because I'm doing really good damage, and this is definitely the first phase. That was not good. That was not good. Oh my god. Hey, there you go. Alright. That's the first phase. Oh, was that it? Alright. Was that really it? Thank you for the Talisman pouch. So that means I can grab, I don't know what I can grab. Vastly rises maximum load. Not really that. I'll just improve my health. Health is always good. Was that it? Bloody hell! I thought that was like literally the first phase of a boss, and then you have to like rain into him. Oh wow. Did not expect that. Well, that's what I would call disappointment, ladies and gents. Let me wear my samurai. I think my samurai helmet can really match up with any outfit, any kind of armor knight outfit. Obviously, if you're gonna put in like a white gown, it's not gonna work, is it? But yeah, I'm very disappointed about that boss actually. Maybe I am very high level. But that was very disappointing because I thought that would be at least half an hour fight, but no, I just do shitloads of damage. My dual wield katana is just too good. He couldn't handle it. So that is the gargoyles would have been standing there. That's the fortify mana. It's pretty cool. I mean, I like it. I just like looking over the horizon of Elden Ring. It just makes it so much better. It's like a dream. So the golden mask is there, down there, with the dude that teach us incarnations. Alright, that was a very uneventful way of ending the episode. I think I'm just gonna... Ooh, Oak Tree Bow. Is that interesting? It is a normal bow. That's holy damage. Okay. Longbow featuring the Earth Tree styling in times of old when faith and battle went hand in hand. This weapon was created in tandem with the golden arrow. Scale all arrow damage with faith, revealing its true worth when you use with holy infused. Okay. So it does a lot of holy damage. It's probably ones I will put in the storage. Forget about it. Seek right. Oh, the ladder. The Celestial Drew, I think that's to improve on the magic, isn't it? Could this be God? Golden Order Prolifia? Is that how you say it? Prolifia? I don't even know what that word is. So, Prayer Book of the Golden Order Fundamentalist, a dense and complex academic treatise that contains the Order's fundamental principles, can be given to a learned cleric to gain access to the following: Radagon Ring of Light and the Law of Regression. Very cool. I think I heard something about Lord of Regression. Right, that was a short and sweet boss fight with Godfrey. I thought it was going to be a harder boss. That's why I turned on my camera, put up my green screen, and got my hands on the controller. And nope, he is very easy indeed because I'm just too OP. It doesn't. I don't feel like it in Volcano Manor. Jesus Christ, that place was definitely harder than this one. But as we look onto this very beautiful chapel area, I'm gonna call the end of the episode here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. In the next episode, we will continue to explore Leyndell, and hopefully we can open up the gate to go further east and see what's going on there. Right, it'll be exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Click the like button and put a smile on my face. Subscribe to my channel for more things Elden Ring and any other games that I play. Stay safe out there, keep calm, and video game. Peace.